In this episode of The Trend Talk, she's been called the most dynamic actress in Hollywood. Justina Machado sits down to talk about her illustrious career and her most recent role in One Day at a Time. We talk to power couple Christina and Willy Escobar, who tell us what is the secret formula to combine work and marriage. All that and more on The Trend Talk.
Welcome to the Trend Talk. We're happy you could join us.
Yeah, because we like to talk about trending people and trending topics.
And where do we find our trending topics? On social media.
That's right.
That's where we find them. And that's where you find all the social media influencers. And these influencers have like millions, maybe hundreds of thousands to million followers. And they have a voice, they have a platform where they can talk to their followers and kind of sway them to thinking the way they think. They put out what their ideas are on certain things. And you're talking about politicians, fashion designers, celebrities. This administration is built on practically social media.
Right, and some of these tweets or posts on social media can be divisive and dangerous, but at the other end of it, on the positive end, they can also be really informational and inspiring. One politician that gets a lot of retweets and quoted on her Instagram posts is freshman congresswoman from New York's 14th Congressional District, Alejandra Ocasio-Cortez. Every time she posts something on her Instagram, I mean, she immediately gets quoted or reposted on media outlets or from other politicians. She's amazing. She's
what does she have, like 3.2 million followers?
Yes, 3.2 million followers, and she started from scratch.
And you know, when she posts, for the most part, they're her followers. They like what she puts out there. And one post that really got almost half a million views was her Green Deal video. Did you see that?
I did.
So talk about an influencer. Right. She is major.
Right, and I think social media could definitely be used for good. Yeah. But it is dangerous. I mean, when you put hateful things out there, especially when you're in a position of power and you put stuff that's divisive, it can really mobilize people towards hate, and that's kind of scary.
Well, the climate right now is scary because you should be able to say whatever you want. It's your social media, and we do have freedom of speech. Right. But like you say, when you're putting someone down or you're being divisive, that could lead to, trouble.
Right. And another thing that's happening now with social media is that a lot of artists are all of a sudden becoming political connoisseurs, right? Yeah. Like Cardi B, for example. She has 43.1 million followers. Yeah. I love Cardi B. I love her. She's
Tell me about it, because I don't know that much about her. I just know she's a big hit now.
Well, she started as a stripper. She's very transparent about that. And then she became a reality show star. And then now she's a rapper, and very successful rapper. But she's using her platform to talk about gun control, to talk about, tax reform.
The government shutdown.
The government shutdown. So some people kind of don't know how to feel about that. Like, is she the voice of authority for topics like that? I say, everyone has a right to their opinion.
Yeah, and really, there's a lot of Latinas that are way up there with their social media following, like Lele Pons, 25 million.
She's 25. So funny.
They have a series.
Yes.
The Amigos. Yeah. Anyway, but that's her. But there's like the list of the top influencers. You know who's the very, very number one spot?
She's a Latina.
She's a Latina, yes. It's Selena Gomez. And she doesn't get political, but she has a following, I guess, because she has a real personal stuff on there. She talked about her kidney transplant. She talks about her friends, a love for her friends, and maybe people just respond that way. That's positive.
Well, talking about positive, our next guest is also very influential. She has a huge platform as well. She has been named by Harpers Bazaar as the most dynamic actress in Hollywood. Justina Machado is coming up next here on the Trend Talk. I can't wait. I'm so excited, so don't go away.
I'm just so grateful that we got to tell these stories, that we got to represent our people, and we get to tell a story through the Latino lens, the Latinx lens. And
Hi,
I'm Naibe Reynoso, a mom of two and an award-winning journalist.
And I'm Bel Hernandez, the wiser, older, chronic entrepreneur.
That's right, and we go together like café con leche. So keep on watching the Trend Talk, because if it's trending, we're talking. Follow us on social media. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Trend Talk Show. Because if it's trending, we're talking.
She's part of an elite group of actors whose training in theater has led to television and film success. She got her first break in HBO's 6 Feet Under, and she just wrapped a successful 3 seasons on Netflix, One Day at a Time. We have the pleasure of welcoming Justina Machado to the Trend Talk.
Hello.
Hi, Justina.
Hello. How are you?
We're so excited to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
And we have so much ground to cover with you, because you've been on so many amazing shows, some of our favorite shows.
Yes.
But it all started in Chicago, where you were born and raised. And I understand you were in theater, and you did a lot of theater there. And then you moved to New York and then LA, correct?
I did. I did a lot of theater. It's exactly what happened. I did a lot of theater in Chicago. And then I left after 4 years of just doing show after show after show. And then I realized I needed to move forward. You know, I could stay in Chicago and have a really lucrative theater career, but I wanted to go into other stuff. So I moved to New York. Wow. And then I got a job here, and I've been here ever since.
I just think you've always had this great career, but there were lean times. Tell us about those.
There's lean. I'm in a lean time right now.
Only for about 5 minutes.
You know, exactly, hopefully. No, there's always lean times. I couldn't even begin to tell you, Belle. I have no idea. I can't remember. It's been so many years that I've been here. It's part of life. So absolutely, there have been times that I didn't work for maybe like 8 months, maybe like a year, maybe not so long, but I think the longest for me might have been 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then there was that moment where you were doing all of our favorite shows at the same time.
Right.
Queen of the South.
Well,
Jane the Virgin.
Well, you were recurring on those.
Right.
And then
I was a series regular on Queen of the South.
And then you overlapped the other ones.
No, Queen of the South is, I did that, and then I knew that was coming to an end. So then I hopped on the One Day at a Time train. So it kind of happened like that. That's what happened. And then when I started doing One Day at a Time, after the first season, I started to do Jane the Virgin. So they all went like this, but Jane the Virgin and One Day were at the same time.
And that show and One Day at a Time and Vida, all of these shows with a lot of Latinos have created this amazing community of mutual support, and I absolutely love it. And they were all supportive as well when, you know, we were trying to save One Day at a Time. How did that feel?
Well, they're still trying to save it, to be honest. It's just that, you know, we should know something in the next month or so. But no matter what, I'm just so grateful that we got to tell these stories, that we got to represent our people, and we get to tell a story through the Latino lens, the Latinx lens, and, you know, and it's just a universal story about love and family and all of that wonderful stuff that you don't have to be this ethnicity to get it, you know? So that's what's so wonderful. Shows like that, shows like Jane the Virgin, shows like Vida, like all of these shows that are coming out, so that we're in people's faces as people.
Right.
As opposed to the boxes they like to put us in.
Exactly. That's what I loved about the show, and also love that you tackle so many big, major social issues.
Yes.
Let's take a look at a few of them.
I got divorced, stronger now. I tried the Brazilian blowout on 07, did not like the upkeep. I love your curls. Always have, always will.
Since Sid identifies as non-binary, I want to call them by a term that's more acceptable and inclusive.
Oh, you know what I always thought was so cute? Better half.
I don't want to call Sid half a person. What if I tell people you're my better whole?
You're not saying that.
We're gonna have differences, but what does that matter? We're family.
The show definitely had a lot of amazing positive social messages of acceptance, of talking about these issues, even PTSD, right? Your character was suffering from that.
She did. She suffered, and just one of the many wonderful layers that this character had. Not that PTSD is a wonderful thing to have, but as an actress, it's a really great thing to to portray, and so many people suffer from PTSD, and it doesn't have to be because you were in war like Penelope was. I mean, I often talk about, I mean, it's not the same, but I have PTSD from my childhood. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's not the same. I don't want to equate it. But like we all have something that we could reach into and be like, yes, I can relate to that. And that's the wonderful thing about One Day at a Time is I don't think there's one thing we don't cover. And I can imagine one person watching it and not relating to at least somebody or something or something that we're talking about. So it's just a really special show.
And I loved also the multi-generational aspect of it. I mean, I live with my mother-in-law currently. You know, a lot of people are doing that. And Rita Moreno. I mean, such a fan.
Who isn't a fan, though? That's the thing. It's like you run out of things to say. Like, I don't know what to say about her anymore because except that she's incredible. Who is not a fan of Rita Moreno?
But you've also like amassed a few more gems of getting to know another side of Rita that a lot of us don't get to know.
Which is such a privilege, and that is so true. I mean, to get to know her as a person, as a woman, as a friend is incredible.
And obviously also Gloria Calderon-Kellett.
You know, Penelope is really based on Gloria.
That's what I was going to say. And the opening of the show was a lot of pictures of Gloria as she was young, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, because also that's her family story. Like, you know, the Pedro Pan, both of her parents came over from Cuba through the Pedro Pan situation. Then that's where they met. So many of the stories are really Gloria's story and Mike Royce's stories. So she's fantastic. Gloria, what can I say about her? She's a powerhouse.
Yes.
She's a powerhouse. She's an actress, she's a director, she's a producer, she's a writer. She can do it all, and she's lovely and she's kind. And it just shows you every day that you can be this powerhouse and
be nice.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know,
I mean, beyond nice.
So we just covered the tip of the iceberg about your career on television, which is massive, you know? And so we want to go to a break, but then come back and do a fun game so that we could go down memory lane of your shows that you've done.
God.
Okay,
right,
so stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? The greatest character I've ever played in my life.
Yes. Okay, so it is the greatest character, and you did a fantastic job.
And we are back with our fabulous guest, Justina Machado. We talked about her vast career in television, but you also have a career on film. And what I love about a lot of the roles that you play, they're not really stereotypical. Is that by design? Do you consciously pick roles that are a little more dynamic?
I always did. Even when I first got here in the 90s, when I mean, truth be told, it's not as if anything has gotten so much better. I mean, it's gotten better, but it's not like so much better, and that's unfortunate, you know? But I was always really conscious of picking stuff that I would have at least integrity and dignity. I mean, listen, if you got to pay the bills, I get it. And I have I mean, I played a character once I was so embarrassed about, forget about it. I mean, like, even now I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, how embarrassing. But I needed to pay my mortgage. So I get it. You know, that happens. But I have always really try to make that decision. You know, and that takes a lot of courage, because a lot of actors, especially when they're starting out, they'll take whatever. Because A, they might not want to do it and would otherwise turn it down, but they don't want to look bad in front of that producer who might have another gig down the line. It's true. And so a lot of people don't take that position, and it's always wonderful to meet someone who says, no, I value myself more than that. I do. And also, you know, it's a different time now, too. I do understand the younger generation coming in and feeling scared, because we all feel scared. But back then there was less. There's so much content now. Yes. It's insane. You know what I mean? And so I can get like the, well, if I don't do it, somebody else is going to do it, and I'm going to do it. I mean, I get the craziness that goes on in an actor's head. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is your career, and you should really mold it the way you want it molded. Exactly.
exactly.
But that's why I'm so happy that there are more Latina showrunners like Gloria Calderon-Kelly.
Tanya Saracho.
Exactly.
Maylene, I don't know her last name, but she's a new showrunner of Queen of the South.
So
now we are going to play a little game. We're going to go down memory lane.
Okay, so we're going to say a show
that you were on.
That you were on and your character. And in one sentence, and don't make it that long, in one sentence, give us your impression or your feeling or your emotions that bubble up as we mention the show.
Okay, so I'll start.
Okay.
Your series regular role as Vanessa Diaz on HBO's 6 Feet Under.
Changed my life.
Nice. Okay, how about your guest starring role as Claudia Sanchez on ABC's Desperate Housewife?
Was very interesting.
All right.
Love it. Go ahead.
Your series regular role on CBS's Three Rivers as Pam Acosta.
Oh, so boring. So boring.
That's why.
That's only. She only needed two words.
Oh my God! So boring. You have no idea how boring.
On the positive side.
On the positive side, I had wonderful actors. Alex O'Loughlin, I got to meet him. He's a wonderful man. He's been on Hawaii Five-0 forever now, and all of really incredible. Kate Menig, wonderful people. The actors were great, but just such a boring premise.
So how about your series? This one, your series role as Lisette Hernandez in Welcome to the Family.
Oh, what a great time. So great. It started off the whole thing, too. I mean, like, Welcome to the Family, the showrunner was amazing, and the writing, and they were so respectful of Ricardo and I thought that could have gone on and been a really good show.
Your starring role as Penelope Alvarez in 3 seasons of Netflix's One Day at a Time.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? The greatest character I've ever played in my life.
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
Okay, so it is the greatest character, and you did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Critics were like just praising it. You were getting a whole bunch of great press for this right before your last run, of the 3rd season. And then you have Harper's calling you the most dynamic actress in Hollywood.
Oh, that's right.
So what did that feel like?
That.
you did not. You did.
Sometimes I get like embarrassed, like, okay, I'm gonna tweet. Is it weird? Because like you just glory being tweeted about myself all the time.
I tweeted it. I tweeted it out there.
Thank you, Belle.
But
thank you.
What did you think, like when you read that? Like, what went through your head?
I love it. It was so beautiful. I don't even know what went through my head. I think I was just so like, oh wow. And then that's when I become like super old school Latina, where it's like very humble and you like forget it, which is awful. I think that's awful. Like, I'm so ready for us to not be that way.
Yes.
I'm so ready for us to like not be so humble, tener tanta pena siempre, or all of those things.
Yeah,
we
got to be proud and voice.
Exactly.
And put it out there.
So the most dynamic actors, hell yeah.
Okay, so before we go,
I'll take it.
Right. Well, I just wanted to say, like, Tanya Saracho, I loved what she said during the GLAAD Awards. Unapologetically visible.
Yes.
Unapologetically
I love that
visible.
too. I love that.
I've been hashtagging that in every single post.
So tell us before we go, you have some stuff coming up.
I do. I have a movie coming out on Lifetime with Elizabeth Rome, another fabulous actress. She's really incredible in this movie. And it's pretty good. It's called Family Pictures. It's for Lifetime. It comes out in June. And then I have the Jane the Virgins all coming up that I was in. So, and then I told somebody that Omarosa, ¿cómo se llama la? Osmara. And then I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for a job.
I'm sure it won't be long, girlfriend.
Yes,
oh my God, I hope that.
Enjoy your 2 minutes of rest, because trust me.
All right.
You will be working.
Okay, so where can all of these people that I know want to follow you, where can they follow you?
Well, just my name, Justina Machado on Instagram and Justina Machado on Twitter, and that's it. I don't do Facebook.
Okay, you don't need to.
Yeah,
you don't need to nowadays.
Exactly.
That Facebook
you kind
is like,
of don't, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah, so that's me.
Okay,
well,
so
thank you. It's such a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise, it was so much fun.
I know, it goes by fast.
Inviting me. I know. At first I was nervous.
We got to get all the Latinas and all the shows to come out here because, like you said, we got to support each other.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. So I'm so happy to be here. Definitely. Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Thank you, mi amores. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, we'll be right back with more on the Trend Talk. Don't go away.
I was waiting. You guys tell me you're still on the air.
I love that.
I'm never going to work with people that don't value me, don't respect my time, and don't value me as a family man.
Marriage is full of challenges, and when you work with your spouse, it's even more difficult to have a happy marriage. But we did find a couple that found the winning formula. We welcome to the Trend Talk Willy and Christine Escobar.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. So we brought you here today because a lot of people have thought about working with their spouse, but there's a lot of hesitation, a lot of fear. First of all, how has it worked out for you guys?
Horribly. No, I'm just kidding.
It's been great, and I think honestly, every couple, you know, if there's one business owner or an entrepreneur, they should. I think it's amazing what you can create together.
But I'm assuming that before you work together, you have to make sure your marriage is healthy, right?
Yes, of course.
That's like number one.
Of course, being on the same page, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, that's very important because imagine if your marriage is not working, then you have to see each other all day. That could be an awkward workspace.
Talk to us. What has been like the winning formula? What's been, you know, the formula that's made you guys successful as a married working couple?
I say setting the same goals because, you know, he had his entrepreneurial goals and I was a full-time working mother and a wife, and that balance is hard to keep. So now we have the same goals at home, we have the same goals at the office or with our business, so that's huge to me, and it's what's made it work. I think it's the number one formula, definitely, and communicating on both sides. Like, I take care of home and the office, and as long as home is taken care of, he's happy also, so that's another one.
I think for me it goes back a few steps back. I think what's been a key is hiring good people too.
Yeah.
Because I said this a long time ago to Christine when I was just having all kinds of, you know, bumps and bruises in my business. I was doing business with the wrong people, right? I'm a lender, and as a lender, you just want to work with everyone sometimes,
right?
Which is a bad formula, right? Because you could have different personalities, you might not see eye to eye, so on and so forth. And I remember about 5 years ago, I told her I had this great experience. It's kind of a long story, so I'm not going to get into it. But based on that experience, I told Christine, I'm never going to work with people that don't value me, don't respect my time, and don't value me as a family man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a good formula for a couple too. Like your couple has to value you as well, and right, you guys have to value each other. So when you're communicating and when there is conflict, how do you deal with it so you're not, you know, yelling at each other or kind of flying off the handle? How do you handle conflict?
Well, we don't yell at each other. I mean, he tells me I speak too loud. I mean, I am a Latina. What can you do? I can't change that, right?
She tells me, oh, I'm not yelling.
No. We do talk about it. And of course, you do argue, you do disagree, but I truly feel that, you know, he'll give me an idea, and I have to constantly think, okay, is this going to work? I need to trust him. And I think that's huge too, to trust him. I trust him when it comes to business because I wasn't a businesswoman. I was a therapist. So letting go of that control, like, okay, I have my thing, he has his thing, is really trusting him to where we've gotten.
Right.
And being his partner in that has been huge.
And what is your business?
We do mortgages, so we're lenders.
Yeah.
I've been a lender for 17 years, so I've helped thousands of people get into homes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And your mission is also, you know, very charitable, and you guys love giving back. Talk to us about that aspect of your business and of your life as a married couple.
Sure.
Well, we both come from single moms, you know, and when I met him, I was a single mom. So we love helping the community and, of course, giving back in any way possible. It just feels good. And I think we have both, we knew we had that in each other. So now we do different community outreach. We feed the homeless, and our team comes together also. We just did baskets for City of Hope, and everybody donated in the office. People were helping us put them together. But on our 8-year anniversary, which was just a few weeks ago, we declared to have our own nonprofit, which will focus on educating children or young teens of single parents and educating the parents as well.
We congratulate you for having a successful business. We can't wait to see all the wonderful things that your nonprofit is going to bring. And if people want to find you guys or your business, where can they find it? Are you guys, do you have a website? Or?
Yes, we're big on social media. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can find me at theWilly Escobar.
Okay, perfect. And then your company?
It's The Mortgage Guys.
The Mortgage Guys.
And we have an office in Pasadena and in Whittier.
Okay, awesome.
And we also have other offices elsewhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I hope everyone takes some, drops of knowledge so you can have a successful marriage if you're working with your spouse. Thanks again.
Thank you for having us.
We're back with more on the Trend Talk.
Follow the trend on the Trend Talk. From celebrity guests to Latino entrepreneurs. If it's trending, we're talking. With Bel Hernandez and Naibe Reynoso.
Wow, what a great time we had with all our guests. I love them all.
I did too. We want to thank all of you guys for coming and talking to us here on the Trend Talk Show. Justina, mwah, you're amazing. And keep following us on the Trend Talk Show on social media because
if it's trending, we're talking.
Llenos de algarabía.